Hey there, beautiful brown girl.
Hey, hey.
Welcome
Get
to
out.
another episode of Brown Versations. Welcome to the replay for those of you who are joining us on the replay, and welcome to the live for those of you who are here for the live. Go ahead and start introducing yourself in the comments, y'all, and let us know that you are here. Let us know where you are watching from. Also, if this is your very first time hanging out with us on Brown Versations, go ahead and drop first time in the comments so that we can celebrate you. And if you are always here with us, go ahead and type "Hey beautiful" in the comments so that we can acknowledge you as well. Sab, how are you, ma'am?
I am beat. Okay, I'm gonna chill. I'm trying to chill out. I'm good. I'm really good. Did I mention that I was good?
Yay! You did. You mentioned that you were really good.
Really good.
I love it. I love it. So excited to be here. I know you have a lot to share with the community. We're going to get into that in just a second. I see our people getting in here. Hey, Bianca, sending all the love there to St. Pete, Florida. We've got Carmen here from Pittsburgh. Hey, Carmen. Sarah is in the house from St. Louis. Welcome. Again, ladies, as you are getting in here, go ahead and introduce yourself in the comments. Let us know where you are watching from. Also, go ahead there in the comments, share the broadcast on your page so that they can come and hang out with us, y'all. Tonight's show is spicy. Okay, so we need voices. Okay, in here.
like hot.
It is like hot. Okay, so we want to make sure we get people in here. I see Satira, I'm wondering, or Satira from Maryland. Welcome.
Berlin.
Again, if this is your very first time hanging out with us, go ahead and let us know that in the comments by typing first time. Again, if you hang out with us all the time, you are a tried and true member of the beautiful brown girl community. Go ahead and type "Hey beautiful" in the comments so that we are able to acknowledge you as well. All right, y'all, we got a lot going on. Quite a few announcements that we want to get into. So Sab can tell y'all why she's over there doing her jig. Because she is so excited. I do want to give a shout out to Apple. Is here for the first time. Hey, beautiful. Oh, dang.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
I literally reminded myself earlier, I promise one of these days I'm going to have the air horns, but Apple, those were yours. Those were your first time air horns. We're so excited for you here. Karen is also here from the PNW. Okay. So super excited to have you here with us. We see y'all tagging your friends in the comments. Child, get them in here. Okay. So let me go ahead and let you know what you're watching. We do have first timers here. So they probably like, girl, what is this? Right? So welcome to Brown Versations. This is our virtual platform where we talk about all things brown girl related. We are here to connect you to other like-minded women and give you a platform to share your voice in the brown versations that matter to us and those we care about. We want you to connect with beautiful brown girls and connect with us individually as we take this journey through life. My name is Kimberland, and I am an educator. I'm an advocate. I'm a consultant. I'm an author. I'm an actor. I'm a blogger. I'm a model. And tonight, I am one of your hosts here on Brown Versations. My feet are currently planted in Boston, Massachusetts this week. I'm so excited to be here.
I am glad. I'm excited with welcome everyone. My name is Sabrina, or Sab. That's Sab is the name I'm going by these days. Sab Jackson. I come to you out of Dallas, Texas. Welcome again. I am a marketing professional. I'm a forever student. I'm a podcast host. I am daughter to Barbara, sister to Maria, sister to Tawanda, sister to Sybil, and just an all-around cool person. Excited to get to know on the show. But welcome, everyone.
Yes. I
Welcome.
love this new tweaked intro. Yes, for the all around coolness. Okay. So absolutely excited that y'all are here. Y'all, here at Beautiful Brown Girls, it's really important for us to center ourselves in sisterhood, support, and self-care. Everything that we talk about, everything that we do is really geared to create authentic friendships. We swap
Mhm.
stories, we swap experiences, we swap ideas, we lift each other up when we're down. Y'all, this is a community, okay? So if you are new here, we want to make sure that you get connected. And one of the best ways to do that is to get connected through our VIP member space. So our VIP member space is a space that is off of Facebook, off of the social spaces, free from all the things trying to hold the brown girl down, where we get to be our beautiful brown selves and really exist in all of our greatness. So if you go to members.beautifulbrowngirls.com, you can connect with us there. You also get all sorts of perks. You get discounts on brunches. You get access into our book clubs and our special classes that we do. And you're the first person to know about all of the things that we have going on. So definitely want to make sure that you get connected there in our members network. And one thing we also want to make sure that we share is we're trying to increase our engagement, y'all. We be out here. We've been doing this out for what, 4 years, right?
4 years.
Trying to get
almost 5 years in.
Almost 5.
I think maybe we've lost track. We've been doing this so long, so in a good way, right?
Yes, it has been absolutely wonderful. But we want to make sure that people know about all the amazing content that we're creating here. So, in order to do that, we need your help. If you will, while you are hanging out with us, if you are loving the content, give us some emoji reactions, right? Give us a like, give us a heart, give us laughs, right, about those things. And also, again, share the broadcast, tag people so that they can come and get this good information as well. All right. So, that's what we need from you all. And we'll remind you periodically throughout the show so that you can remember to engage with us.
Speaking of engage, if you're wanting to engage with myself, Kimberland, and the rest of the Beautiful Brown Girls community, we would love for you to be on the show with us, like be on here with us. And you have the opportunity to do so. You can come. So we have the opportunity to pull you from the comments and you can come to the show. We've had people on the show before. I remember Kale, Irma, Carrie. Is we had Carrie on the show? I don't remember.
We've had guests before, but we definitely want to get some more of y'all because y'all be having the things to say, y'all. So we need to get y'all off these comments.
Yes, we need your perspective. We need your fun. We need your energy. So come to the So if you are interested in being on the show, say it right now and come just let us know if you are interested in participating. You can come and participate in the Brown Versation with us. We play games. We would just love to have the opportunity to have you come on and meet with us and hang out with us and have a lot of fun. Like, as you can see, I'm just on 10, probably a little bit on 11 or 12. And Kimberland is also always on 10. I want you to come and bring that energy, and we give that energy to you. If you are watching replay, how can they participate? By emailing us at beautifulbrowngirls@gmail.com. Is that correct? Yep. If you're watching the replay, otherwise just comment now and be like, I want to come on. You get to see what we do behind the scenes, all the fun, hard work that we do behind the scenes. I was like yesterday, Kimberland, we were doing the rundown in the airport. So you get an opportunity to, I'm not saying you get to do the behind the scenes with us on the rundown, but you get a chance to see how we make all of this come together for you. So let us know if you're interested in participating. And
absolutely. So Sab, you mentioned that you were in the airport yesterday. Care to share with the people and why you looking so sun-kissed right about now?
Yes, I am fresh off. I don't even think it has been 24 hours. Has it been? I am fresh off from Cabo. I was in Cabo at the girlfriend getaway, at the BBG Girlfriends Getaway in Cabo. We were at this amazing hotel. It was just I'm trying to contain myself and figure out where I want to start, but not talk too much. But I hope that you're sensing it in my excitement that it was just an amazing, beautiful space. We stayed at Secrets Puerto Los Cabos Golf Resort and Spa. Oh, the spa. But it's not just that. It wasn't just the accommodations. It was the experience, the resort, the experience. It was a 5-star experience that Christina curated for all of us. Beautiful. I feel whole. I feel fulfilled. I feel zestful. I feel grateful. I feel relaxed. It was an amazing group of women, ladies. Like these women, like, let me be real with you. Sometimes when you meet a group of women, and it's like going into a club and everyone's in the club, all the women are staring at you and they give you the stink face just because it's like, that's just the vibe. Y'all, the vibe here, real talk, was, hey, beautiful. We greeted everybody on the resort like, hey, beautiful. But it was a beautiful vibe, these ladies. I promise you, it was a beautiful vibe. Christina and the organizers, they set the tone for the event. It was just seamless. Everybody had a great time, good vibe, great conversations, workshop. Amber Wright was one of our keynote speakers on communications. It was just a beautiful time. People in the resort were dope. All of us were getting stared at in our white shirts because they were like, who are these beautiful brown girls in these shirts and stuff, and taking pictures. And it was a whole vibe. So thank you to the ladies. If you're watching, just thank you for just camaraderie and your friendship and you allowing everyone to be vulnerable in that space. It was just a good time. Really great time. Memories for life. Like, so you get, I don't want to steal thunder, but just know that there will be other girlfriend getaways that you will have the opportunity to go to. And I would certainly implore you, Kimberland, you missed out. I know you were like, I was already in Mexico. Why would I want to go back to Mexico?
No, I just had a lot going on and I didn't know where I was going to be. And most of the time I am in Mexico, so it was a lot, but I definitely do plan on being there next time. For those of you who are wondering how you can get involved or even how to see all of the amazing pictures, if you look up hashtag BBG Girlfriends Getaway, you can see, Sab, you said there were like 600 something pictures, just like a crazy amount.
It's from the group, but she didn't post them all on social media, but like, yes, there were like 600 pictures from the photographers that they had on site documenting our experience for us. So, because we can't always, we wanted somebody to take the pictures for us. So
yes, come on, with the hired videography and photography and such. So yeah, y'all, if you are like, oh my God, this looks amazing, I would love to go to a place like Cabo. In the past, they've gone to the Bahamas, they've gone to Jamaica, been to Miami. We're going to be announcing really soon the next destination for the BBG Girlfriends Getaway. It sells out super, super quickly. So remember, I said if you want to get that first information, you need to make sure you're in the members network, because members in the members network get that VIP access. You learn about it first, you get to sign up first, like all of that. So again, if you go to members.beautifulbrowngirls.com, you'll be able to get connected and you'll know when our next getaway is and where it is, and then you can make sure that your face is in the place. Okay. Okay. Period. Poo. Period. Poo. So having said that, y'all, we're going to go ahead and jump into everything that we have for today's show. And we want to start off with some updates. We love to keep you all informed about things that are happening. We do believe that it is our responsibility to make sure that we follow up on some of the stories that we've shared in the past with you all, just so that we can keep our finger on the pulse of what's happening. So the last time that we had a show 2 weeks ago, we were on the heels of the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade and all of the fallout that has been happening because of that. So we know that there are lots of feelings and things of that nature, but here at Beautiful Brown Girls, we want to be intentional in making sure that we're giving you information about access to safe care that you might need, so that we're not putting ourselves into positions where we may be harmed. So we have some things that we wanted to highlight about resources that you could be able to use in the event that you or someone that you care about needs to utilize any type of resources that may be an abortion or something up to that point. So we made a handy dandy graphic here to kind of put some of this together, but we want to highlight a few.
Yes. So we wanted to highlight a few of the things that Kimberland mentioned. So the first thing is if using a private browser, and this is, I'm learning along with you. So using a private browser when booking your abortion appointment. And the reason that we bring that up is just since they strip us of our right to privacy. If you're using apps to track your period, or if you go back to tracking, you need to essentially stop using those. That will hard. So the reason why we say using that is because when it's the government, I know that sounds crazy, but it doesn't sound crazy, especially if you have a government stripping you of your rights. So if you have the opportunity and you're looking for an abortion, go off the grid and use a private browser. All right. And the next one that we're going to mention is, let me see another one I have here. Oh, scheduling your appointment as soon as possible. So if you want to get an abortion, you're not sure where to find abortion services, there's this website called abortionfinder.org, and you can go there and they will provide you with a directory of abortion services providers in the U.S. The next one is looking into funding options. And while talking to whichever clinic you decide to go to, you want to talk to them about funding. So the National Abortion Federation, NAF, is a space where you can get information funding for your service if you need so. Also, avoiding crisis pregnancy centers. The reason why we bring this one up is because this isn't an easy feat. So we do want to preface that. But the National Network of Abortion Funds, the website is abortionfunds.org, and they have a page dedicated to how to find an abortion clinic. The reason why we bring this up is the intention here is to help you weed out the clinics that might otherwise be a crisis center for pregnancy center, but these places don't assist you. They're often run by the same who protest and shame people outside of the abortion clinics. So you want to make sure that the space that you're going to receive your services is an actual abortion clinic. They aren't to harm you or push you into something other than what you're there for,
right,
to get something.
And also that it's not a trap, because there are some states that have legislation that if you utilize the services, or doctors that utilize the services, they can be subjected to criminal liability. So you want to make sure that you're going somewhere legitimate and not a place that may be a trap, and then you wind up in a bigger situation.
Right. The next is making sure that you have a reliable driver, and we mentioned that because, like an Uber, I know an Uber stepped up and they said that they're going to actually pay for, because certain states are like, they'll sue Uber driver or their driver, or if they are caught taking women to abortion clinics, and it's just a whole thing. So if you have friends or family, or even if you don't want to, just make sure you have reliable transportation. And I know that's very subjective, but just making sure that you have reliable transportation. The only thing that I can think of is like an Uber or Ride, or if you have a really close family or friend. Also,
or a friend,
or a friend. Also knowing when to speak to legal counsel, and then also just knowing your abortion rights, and then donating to legal funds. So I know this may sound like a lot, and that's okay, right? That's okay. There's starting to make it harder. We want to do what we need to do in certain situations to get what we need to get done, because sometimes there could be emergency situations. It could be sometimes mortal situations. Like sometimes there have been instances where women are needing to get those services because it can harm their health. I recently saw a story of a 10-year-old girl, and she was denied services. She had to go out of state to get her services because her perpetrator, obviously she was raped, but she had to go out of state to get those services because a 10-year-old girl was denied an emergency abortion. So when you hear these stories, it obviously is traumatic and it's painful, but I don't continue to belabor it. We want to provide you with all of the necessary and pertinent information. We want to do our part to provide you, ladies, with the resource that you need, since the Roe versus, because again, they're just going to make it really hard. And
yeah. And I did want to bring in what Aisha said, and thank you, Aisha, for holding us accountable, because language does matter. And what she said is that no one wants an abortion, right? It's not like something you wake up, I'm like, oh, I think I'll go and do this today, right? It is something that people don't take lightly. So it is more a need, right? So when we are talking about things, making sure that we're using the language that is honoring the fact that this is about healthcare. This is not about people wanting to do something. This is really about needs that are arising.
You have to expound on that one, Aisha, because I disagree. Because there may not necessarily feel like they're in a space to have a child, and it may not be a medical thing for them. They just know that they aren't someone. I'm not saying that that's been my experience, but I disagree with that. So I would really love comments a little bit more on that.
So because meet us in the comments,
I disagree,
Aisha. But also, Sab, you had heard about this boat or something that is providing services.
Yes. So there is an abortion clinic that, a new abortion. So there's this OBGYN doctor from the Bay Area, and he or she, I believe she, is building a reproductive health care center on a ship. And what this is going to do, patients living in restricted areas to obtain abortion services. So according to reports, the floating clinic, which is called Prowess, spelled PRROWESS, provide abortion services to several southern states bordering the Gulf of Mexico. So while access to the procedure is banned or severely limited, the ship will sail on federal waters, just 9 miles from the coast of Texas and 3 from the coast of Alabama and Louisiana, where it can't evade state abortion restrictions. I thought this was amazing, but it's all amazing that even though they're taking our taking our rights from our body, there's people are still figuring out a way. Like, people, if they want an abortion, they're going to get an abortion. Like, they're going to figure it out. It's long gone of the date. Never mind. But I just wanted to share this story because I thought that this was really interesting. I don't want to belabor this and talk more, so I'm not saying wrong language, but I thought that this was really cool. And her ship is called Prowess, PRROWESS, a floating clinic.
And so to your point of having access to safe care, right? Because this isn't going to stop. It's really about making sure that people have access to the safety of what may need to happen. So those are our updates for today. Again, I dropped some links into the chat there for you, so feel free to share those links with others. And again, keep that conversation going in the comments as we continue to unpack what this looks like for us in this new state of the world or the country that we are in. So we're going to shift to our new releases. And
what are we watching or not watching? I'm just like, what's coming out? What are we watching or not watching? Or what do we need to watch?
Are we watching or not watching? That is the question. So this week we wanted to kind of give you all an opportunity to experience by showing you some of the trailers for these shows or for these movies or what have you. So the first one is Nope. Sab, so do you want to start? I'm going to cue up the trailer, but do you want to kind of give the people a little overview of what Nope is about?
Let's do it. So Nope, with a Jordan Peele movie, as we all know, I feel like everyone knows it's a Jordan Peele movie starring Keke Palmer, Daniel Kaluuya. Okay, so this new film Daniel Kaluuya from Out in Black Panther and Keke Palmer from Scream. The plot follows residents of an isolated town who witness mysterious and abnormal events after random objects falling from the sky result in the death of their father, ranch-owning siblings OJ and Emerald Haywood to capture video of an unidentified flying object with the help of tech salesman Angel Torres and the documentarian Antlers Holst. Let me preface that to say, I love a good scary movie, Kimberland. Ladies, I love a good scary movie. And however, we know Jordan Peele and his. Can we roll the beautiful footage, and then we'll give our thoughts on it, or can I get my thoughts and then?
Which way you want to do it? You want me to show the trailer, or you want to give your thoughts?
Show the trailer. Show the trailer.
Okay. So we're going to show the trailer right quick, and y'all let us know in the comments if this feels like something that you would go and see. Okay, here we go.
Thanks.
You think whatever killed Pops is out there?
Right here, you are going to witness an absolute spectacle. So what happens next? You ready? Mm-hmm. Are you ready? Here we go.
No. This would be an opportunity. I'm talking rich and famous for life.
There's plenty of videos of flying shit online.
Ain't nobody gonna get what we gonna get.
What we gonna get?
The money shot.
What's up?
Undeniable proof of aliens on camera. The Oprah shot.
So you guys gonna tell me what's going on?
Hell no.
All right. What did you ladies think in the group, in the community? Like, okay, so I love Jordan Peele. I do. What are some of his previous movies, Kimberland? Help me out, ladies.
So what he had
previous movies.
Jesus.
One with the scissors. Is it
Get
Us?
Out? No, Us.
Get Out.
He had Get Out in the Sunken Place.
Those are the only ones that I can think of. But the reason that I bring that up
think of right now
is from what I heard about this new one called Nope. It's like it's very. You really got to think about the message. Hear the message. I don't want you to give me no message. I don't want to have to think about the message. I'm there to get entertained. And I don't want to have to sit there and think, be in pensive thought during this. I want to be scared. I like scary movies. But I don't want to have to sit there and say, what was the message in that? Oh, what was the, I'm one of those people that talk in the theater too. I'm like, what did he say? What did he mean? Like, I don't want to have to do that to my friends.
I would so want to fight you, bro. I would be like, oh my God, shut up.
So what do the ladies in the community think?
It sounds like y'all are saying no.
No,
it
y'all
sounds like the community is like, yeah, nope.
Ooh, Aisha, good comment. She said, real life girl.
I want to watch it for the sake of supporting Jordan Peele.
I agree.
And Keke Palmer. I'm really excited for her. She's had a lot of big roles lately. I'm not a scary movie person though, like at all. But what my experience with Jordan's movies is that they're not necessarily scary. They're more thriller-like. So it's not like horror, you know, I'm gonna have nightmares tonight, but some of it does cause nightmares because it's like so close to real life. I don't know. I'm also not an alien person for real, and it kind of seems like there's some type of alien situation going on. I would watch it to support. I can't say I'm necessarily excited about it, but I will watch it to support.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I agree.
Yeah.
So these next few movies, you are privy to these. So I would love to know more about them because I don't have, I'm not a stream. I do stream, but I don't have the services to even watch these. So, and I haven't seen them. So you talked about After Party with Tiffany Haddish.
Yes.
Can you give us a little back? Well, can I give the backgrounder while you cue it up?
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and give the background and I'll cue it
So
up.
this one I was surprised when Kimberland pitched it out because when she said Tiffany Haddish, I was just like, meh. because I'm so used to seeing Tiffany in that jolly comedic. We're used to seeing her in that jolly comedic space. So this one is a high school reunions after party ends in a death, and everyone is suspect. A detective grills the former classmates one by one, uncovering potential motives as each tells their version of the story, culminating in the shocking truth. This is starring, as far as I know, Tiffany Haddish, and it will be on Apple TV.
Mm-hmm.
So we're good?
Yes. All right. So
All right.
I'm going to show you all the trailer. Okay.
All
and
right.
then I'm going to tell you like my take on it. But again, we want to know, is this something that you're willing to watch?
Yep.
Or no? Okay. All right. Here we go.
The humanitarian Xavier was found dead tonight. His body discovered on the cliff during an after party for his high school reunion.
This is a murder.
What?
Any one of you could be the murderer. And I want to hear your story. The same thing could happen, but you see it in a different way. I want to hear your mind moving.
Did you see her hair? It looks like she made out with a tornado. It's just Jewish hair.
So much volume.
My goal is to find out who killed Xavier. Now, you all went to your high school reunion for what? Second chances at life? Love? Something else? I would just love it if you could just skip to the part where the murder happened.
I'm telling you a story here. I'm building character arcs, dynamics.
Everybody here hated Xavier.
He is the worst.
I'm gonna have sex with your ex.
Dude, for the humanitarian.
All right. So,
Okay.
so the after party is hilarious, y'all. When I tell you, it is not like your basic Tiffany Haddish, she ready. It's not that Tiffany Haddish at all. It is very much a different version of Tiffany that I feel like maybe we've never seen before. To Andrea's point, it is like a whodunit, murder mystery type of situation, but it's funny as well. So each of the people, basically it gives their view of what happened. And they have little themes for each person. So each person's story kind of has like a little theme. It is hilarious. I would not steer y'all wrong. I'm telling you, it is so funny. And really trying to figure out who did it. Like, I was shocked. I was guessing like the whole time, and I was so wrong the whole time I was watching it. And then I watched it again because I wanted to see what I missed. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh man, it was there the whole time. Like, but I kept missing it. So the after party is streaming on Apple TV. And I loved it. I've watched it 3 times already. I've watched it 3 times already. And every time it feels like the first time. I do want to say that I believe Apple TV has a thing where you can watch the first episode of something without having Apple TV.
Okay.
So you'll be able to see like that first episode and check it out and see if it's something that you would want to also watch. Now, go ahead.
Okay. Is this like Clue? Is this like the 2022 Clue?
I've never seen Clue. I did not grow up like watching and playing Clue. Like, I don't, but that's what I hear. That's what people like, oh, this is like Clue. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
You're so dismissive.
Never seen it. I don't know. But if Clue is like a murder mystery, yes. With some comedy that is infused in it. So yeah, it's like that. So,
and this next one, I'm excited to talk about this next one. Even though I still don't know what it is, and I ain't seen no trailer.
Okay,
do we have a trailer for this one?
I do. But first, I want to ask y'all a question, though. Okay, so this is called Severance. This is also on Apple TV. And Severance, basically the way the whole premise of the movie is you would separate your work life from your personal life, right? So while you're at work, you would have no memories of your personal life. You are strictly locked into what's happening at work. Mm-hmm. And then while you are at home, you have no memories of your work life and you are strictly locked into what's happening at home. So the question I have for you all is, would you want to completely separate your work life from your personal life? Okay, would you want to separate that? So I'm going to cue this up. I want y'all to start answering in the comments because Yeah, I want to know what you all think about this. So let me get this queued up here.
Premise. That's an interesting type of premise. Like, how do you do that? Because we're so used to not having to do it. So you get a surgery. It's called a surgery that you get.
Yes. So you would get a surgery, and your surgery would make sure that when you are at work, that you don't even know that you have a family. You don't know anything about what you do outside of work. You only know work. And then when you go home, you don't even know what you do at work because you left that at work, right? So now you're completely at home.
Wow.
Okay. All right. So y'all keep answering in the comments. Would you want to completely separate your work life from your personal life? And I'm going to go ahead and play this trailer.
Hello, my name is Mark S. And I have, of my own free accord, elected to undergo the procedure known as severance. I give consent to sever my memories between my work life and my personal life. I acknowledge that once the procedure is complete, I will be unable to access my personal memories whilst on the severed floor.
Say gratitude.
Nor will I retain work memories. Hey! Sorry, when I return home at the end of the day. I make these statements freely.
So
that looks cool, Kimberland.
This is another one. It's like a thriller type of situation. There's a plot twist and things that are happening. But to y'all's point, like some of you all in the comments are like, maybe, or yeah, I separated all the time, right? Aisha said, I would separate work when I'm at home, but I don't want to not remember my family when I'm at work. So then that doesn't work because it has to go both ways. It's like literally when you step on that work floor, everything from home doesn't exist. Naila says, sometimes I forget my coworkers' names.
I saw that.
I hope your coworkers are not watching. Let me take that off the screen just so that nobody. Karen said, I need me all of the time, at all times. She said, nah. Tawana said, no. Apple said, I'm okay with forgetting about my job, but I have a grandchild. What if something happened to her? Apple, you wouldn't know because you're at work. So you don't even know that you have a grandchild. Like you have no concept of the fact that there are people that are attached to you. Like you don't know that you have a dog at home that you have to walk. You don't know anything. All you know is I'm at work and this is what I do.
Yeah.
Andrea said it can open up a whole new meaning for work wife. It can. Work wife and work husband. You can real life have a work wife and work husband. So this is this is also, like I said, on Apple TV. And I really, again, another one I've watched twice. So it is really, really interesting to think about the concept. And I think on the surface, we're like, yeah, I would totally do that. But then when you start thinking about some of the nuances, it's like,
yes, I absolutely agree with you. And I say that because I'm looking at the ladies' comments and I'm like, ooh, that's a good, ooh, you're right. Ooh, because I love that you brought that up. I don't know if I could do the surgery. Initially, I was thinking when you pitched this, I was just like, yeah, I could separate because I want to be able to go to work and just solely focus on work and not have to, how was your weekend? Good morning. How's your dog? How's Bill? Hi, Bob. Hey, Jill. What's going on? Well, how's your week? Like, I didn't, but all of that is a part of my personality. All of that is a part of my charismatic person, and that my work life, my personal life comes to work with me, and that makes me successful at who I am at work. So, and then looking at the ladies in the community comments, but I do sometimes forget my coworkers' names, even on conference calls too, sis. Like, ooh, because face, yes, name, nah. But
oh man, that is so funny to me.
I do. I'm like, I forgot her name.
Oh man, that is funny. So yeah, so check that out. Again, Severance is on Apple TV. So if you are in again, for some type of mind bender type, like it really sucks you in. So
Good.
it's a good one. So
right.
as always,
take your
what
word
else
for
are
it.
you all watching? Go ahead and drop whatever else that you've seen interesting in the comments, because we're always looking for great things to watch. So having said that, let's go ahead and unpack our top news topics that we have for today's show. Sab just mentioned that she got back from Cabo with the beautiful brown girl family. I have been all over the place, traveling all over, right? We are in the height of summer and summer travel, and there's a lot going on. So we want to make sure that we are prepared and understanding what is happening out here in these travel streets, okay, so that we can get through it as seamlessly and stress-free, less as possible. Okay, so having said that, the first update that we have for you is what you may notice this summer is that when you are traveling, TSA at some airports are no longer scanning boarding passes. So usually when you go through TSA, you scan your passport, you scan your boarding pass, they check it, like all the things. Well, they have some new technology that's called a credential authentication technology scanner. And basically what it does is it removes the need to show your boarding pass. So everything is linked to your passport. Even when I was checking my bag, when I was coming here, I didn't have to show them my boarding pass and passport to check I had to show them my passport to check my bag, but I didn't have to show them my boarding pass. Like I didn't have to use my boarding pass until it was time for me to get on the plane. So don't be alarmed if you get into the TSA line and they have you scan your passport and they're like, go ahead on about your business, because they have this new technology. And again, that's happening at some of the major airports like LA, New York, Boston Airport, Dallas, Chicago, DC airports, Atlanta airports. So if you're flying through any of those airports, hopefully you'll be able to get through that TSA line a little bit quicker because there isn't so much documentation that has to be shown.
I love this. I mean, we already have that scanner on our passport already, and I've got it scanned multiple times, even go to like the market, like the store internally. I went to a store in Mexico and they needed my passport to scan it. I didn't understand why I asked, but I like this because I found myself fiddling through everything, my passport, my boarding pass, because whether it's an electronic boarding pass on an app from the airline that you're going through, or the actual physical boarding pass. Like I couldn't do the electronic in Mexico because I could only do physical. That's what they said. But I also had to sign paperwork. I mentioned that because it's
a lot to juggle.
I need a bag or something, or pack or something, because I done lost my boarding pass when I got a new boarding pass, y'all, and then I lost it again when I went through TSA. I was like, God damn it, Sabrina, I need one of those little bags.
Yes. Now you still gonna need your boarding pass, okay? So you ain't gonna be able to get on this here plane without this boarding pass. But they're not going to check it at TSA if you're at one of these airports. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So Carmetta said there were some people that missed their flights in Minneapolis because the line was so long. So we about to get there in a second, girl. Because it's a lot going out here in these streets. Okay. So one more update is that the COVID rules have changed. So for anybody who may be watching that is out of the country, or anybody that is leaving the country to come back, the U.S. has ended COVID-19 testing requirements, and this actually happened earlier. I think it was last month. Yeah, it was last month. So you no longer have to have a negative COVID test if you are a U.S. resident to come back to the U.S.
See,
but if you are not, I said resident, let me fix that, citizen. If you are not a U.S. citizen, you are still required to be fully vaccinated to enter the country. So if you are what is it called? Citizen of the U.S., you do not have to take a COVID test to come back home. You don't have to be vaccinated. If you are not a U.S. citizen, you still have to be fully vaccinated to come, else you just won't be. You will be denied entry. Okay, so that's a big deal. I think I had shared with you all, I got stuck in DR because I had gotten COVID before I came back to the States. And I was like, I just want to go home, and I couldn't. But it kind of came around the same time. I was better from COVID, but I was still testing positive because there's some lingering effects. So I was able to come back home, even though I was healed from COVID and didn't have a negative COVID test. I was still able to come home. So just keep that in mind. Okay. Now there's a question here about cruise travel. I don't know if that applies to cruises as well. We'll have to look that up. This was specifically for air travel that we got this information. So that's that update on that.
Okay.
Now, so all these cancel flights, child.
They're calling it Armageddon.
Yes.
Travel Armageddon.
It is serious out here in these streets. There is a serious shortage in the transportation industry right now, all the way from pilots to ground crew to everybody, right? So it's causing a lot of flights to get canceled on airlines. And this is a worldwide situation. This is not airline specific. This is not US specific. This is happening everywhere. Okay. So I do want to preface that because sometimes people get really like, oh my God, you know, so-and-so airlines, they canceled all these flights. Well, it's not their fault. There's just an overall pilot shortage. So Tawana says she experienced it going to Mexico. And Sab, I heard you have a real interesting story about trying to get to Mexico as well. Why don't you tell the people what happened, Sab?
Please don't. I mean, well, here's a tip, and I've heard this tip before, and it also pays to just be nice to everyone. And let me preface to say that I was nice to everyone, meaning like the ticket agent that was helping everyone was pulling her in several directions. I needed help. I was getting ready to say something, but I also saw she was helping other people, and I was like, no, I'll wait. I see that you're helping them. No, I'll wait. Right. Even though I was in a rush, but I wasn't going to take her away from what she was doing, and she was helping other people. So I wasn't able to get my TSA pre-check on my ticket. So she helped me get it on my ticket, and it actually didn't get on my ticket. So she was helping me get in, but she was like, "Girl, your flight about to leave." I was like, "I know, you'll make it." I'm like, "You see that line? I'm not about to make it. Is there any way I can change the flight or book another flight?" Because I just knew I was getting ready to miss my flight, y'all. And you know what? Melee was like, you know what? Hold on just a second. She went and she got a wheelchair. She went and got a wheelchair, and I already knew I didn't even have to say anything. I was like, okay, you want me to? All right, I'm just gonna. I did. I turned into an actress for 15 minutes to get the paycheck. I had to go through the cancer machine. That's what I call it, the cancer machine. I was limping. I told you I was playing.
You were limping.
Yes, I was. I had to be an actress, and they were like, "Oh, you need help? You all right? You need a cane?" I was like, "Mm-mm."
Oh,
so,
man.
Shout out
Naila said it is acceptable to say you're temporarily disabled to get assistance. She said
I fell out of my Uber. I said I fell out of my Uber, and my ankle hurted. Thank you, sis.
Wow.
And I made it. Shout out to.
And you made
Can I say her name on air? I'm sorry. Shout out to Melee at American Airlines.
Nice.
Help me make my flight.
Very nice. So you all know, when the rubber meet the road, might have to pull out that Sab Academy Award and let it go down. Okay. Tianda says she experienced it when she was going to South Korea. She works in the airline industry, and specifically the company that pushes the wheelchairs. See, the people are like, see? Sarah says she bringing crutches next time. Now listen, Sarah, I don't want you to have to carry extra stuff, okay? But listen, it's hard out here in these traveling streets right now, y'all. So pack your patience. Now, you know, back in the day when they used to tell us, oh, you should arrive to the airport 2-3 hours early. now is the time that you arrive to the airport.
Yes. I
3 hours
immediately
early.
thought that I could get there at about an hour and a half before. No, you literally have to get there 2-3 hours in advance. And I know we talked about the pilot shortage, but if you think about it, I was reading this article and I'll try to be really quick. The reason why there's such a pilot shortage is because the pipeline, the boomers, like that after a certain, the FAA, I believe the pilots have to retire at a certain age. They can't fly until they're 65, 66 years old, and they have to retire at a certain age. And just the pipeline of pilots aren't there. So that's why when we talked about in previous episodes how Southwest Airlines or all these airlines are piloting or partnering with HBCUs to create that pilot pipeline is because all of these pilots are retiring. And also during the pandemic, a lot of them were furloughed or forced to retire. So that's another big reason as well. So it's just the pipeline isn't big enough for these pilots. And I get it. So to Kimberland's point, pack your patience, get to the airport early. These cancellations are crazy. I believe we talked about this on a previous episode with the Spirit Airlines cancellations. So it's a real thing.
It's the thing.
Yeah.
It's the thing. So just be ready. Just be ready.
Yeah.
And that's why we're here. We want to make sure that you all are aware so that you're not frustrated. Like it's the worst thing in the world to get to the airport and be feeling stressed and frustrated and all of that. So make sure that you're taking out, it's some good advice that's here in the comments. So go ahead and make sure that you get that, your pre-check, your global entry, all the things, right? So that you can try your best to make sure that you have a stress-less situation. So, Sab, you want to tell
Yes. So does anyone in the community, Kimberland, yourself included, do you guys have Alexa or Amazon? You do have Alexa.
I do. I love Alexa.
Okay. You might not love her after this, depending on what I share with you. So Amazon's Alexa could soon speak in a dead person or dead relative's voice. Let me specify a dead relative's voice, making some feel uneasy potentially. So whether or not you miss the sound of your dead relative's voice, Amazon may be able to help remedy your longing or missing for your loved ones. So what this is Amazon unveiled a new feature. It's a new feature in the works for its virtual assistant Alexa that can read aloud in a deceased loved one's voice based on a short recording of the person. So if you have like a voicemail of a family member, Alexa or some form of Alexa could speak in your deceased relative's voice. And I'm wondering, I'm still battling with this as I tell this story. Would you want your Alexa to speak in a loved one's voice? And if so, why and why not? Kimberly?
So, no. I've thought of, you know how people like the Build-A-Bears and all that kind of stuff, you can put someone's voice into it. It feels kind of creepy to me. I don't, no, I think it's a no. I was like, I don't know. I think it would be really weird for me to ask Alexa to do something and it is my dead relative, loved one. No, it's a no. It's a no for me. What do you think?
Immediately, honestly, guys, I would say yes, because I miss my sister. I miss her voice. I'm on Snapchat, right? And I was just perusing there a couple weeks ago, and I saw a snap from her, and I saved it. It was from 2019, and I'm just keeping it. But yeah, I know it sounds creepy, Nala, and I know it may not be your fancy, but yeah. And my granddad. That, and if I had my granddad's voice, yeah, I miss my granddad.
But for everyday stuff, Sab, like what time is it? You would want to hear their voice tell you what time it is or what the weather is gonna be or whatever.
I miss my granddad. I miss my sister. I would love to hear their voice again.
Yeah, wow. Well, I guess that's why they're doing it, right? Because there are definitely some folks who would want. I think for me, it might freak me out. Yeah, I can see listening to voicemails. I can see watching videos. I can see like that kind of stuff, but I think it would be weird for me. But Tawana says she would do it too. She thinks it would help. So this is what they're working on, y'all. So if you have an Alexa, you may very soon be able to have this service. So y'all have to let us know how that feels for you once it goes live.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So this next one, you said, let's call this next topic to twerk or not to twerk.
That's right. That is the question.
All right. So Rhode Island State Senator Tiara Mack, the first openly LGBTQIA Black person elected to this position in her town, is catching fire for twerking in a homemade video. She was on vacation in a homemade video while on vacation asking for votes. Now she's responding in the following videos. So note, she is a 28-year-old senator. She was on vacation and she did a video twerking, and she's catching a lot of flack from the right, from the left, from the blacks, from the whites, from everyone,
from the people.
So
we do have a clip of the twerk gate.
If you have not heard it. So
if you haven't seen it, we do have a clip of Twerkgate that we want to share with you all. And again, the question is to twerk or not to twerk. Okay.
That is the question.
So here we go.
Vote Senator Mack.
In case you missed it, here it is again.
Vote Senator Mack.
So that's the video. Okay. Now, Senator Mack also but she, of course, has been asked about this several times. Okay. Yeah. So we do have a clip of her response of what she said when she was challenged about why she was twerking in this video as she was asking for votes. All right. So before you respond, let's hear what she had to say about her why.
My current opponent is someone who was also arrested for misappropriating campaign funds. Yet I, on my day off, am shaking my body in a joyful and have a smile on my face. And that is what the conversation is centered around. It's a dangerous double standard. And a lot of the content that I create is meant to highlight the ways in which I am treated differently. It wasn't until this national coverage that folks in my community, that many people in my community were talking about the policies that I uplift. This came on the heels of the overturning of Roe v. Wade, which would take away the right to abortion for so many people in our country. And yet the conversation is around my body, not around my safety, not around my rights, not around my autonomy. It's about my body not being able to be controlled by a group of people or a group of norms that say, I have to be skinny, I have to be modest, I have to be XYZ in order to be a leader. In reality, I'm a part-time state senator. I have a full-time other job. I'm allowed to have vacation. I'm allowed to lead a joyful life. I'm allowed to live a full life. And I'm allowed to share that there is joy, there is dancing, and there's twerking, there are bathing suits, there are days off when you are a young elected official who leads with love, empathy, and compassion, and then also balances that with showing folks and inviting folks into that joy.
So, the question, again, to twerk or not to twerk? What you think, Sam?
I say twerk. I love it. I do. And when I initially saw it, I didn't think anything of it. But I love her responses throughout, them not controlling her body. And she, in another interview that I saw, she said that she talked about how some people were saying this isn't the decorum of an elected official. And I'm like, well, what is an elected official supposed to be? Are they supposed to just come in black suits and be at the beach in black suit? And anyway, just the decorum of an elected official. She was like, well, what does that look like? They called her classless. She was at the beach in her swimming suit having a good time. And she has been talking about certain issues for a while. And it wasn't until they decided to control her body and tell her what she should and should not do and give her her narrative, and it going viral, that now they're listening to what is she has to say. And what I love about this is she's using this vehicle as an opportunity for her to just not only get votes, but to talk about the issues and her talking point topics for the things that she wants to talk about. Like now she has the mic, and the fact that she has this Black empowered joy, that was the pervasive message that I heard throughout, is just Black empowered joy. Why can't I be happy? This is my body. Everyone else is at the beach, but because I decide to own agency over my body and use my body as she wasn't using her body as a vehicle, but her body is the center of attention. So she is taking the fact that a lot of people objectify Black women's bodies just for being Black women's bodies, and she's using that and she's turning it on its head and using it as a vehicle to get her message out. So I just say twerk for. What's her tagline? Is it twerk for?
I don't know.
She has a tagline, and she has a whole she has not tagline, I'm sorry, hashtag, apologies, hashtag, and I think it's twerk for. But I would say twerk, to twerk or not to twerk. I would say twerk. Kimberland, what about you?
Say twerk. So initially I was like, girl, come on now, Senator. But then I thought about it, and I was like, what would it be like if this was me, right? Because y'all might let me go ahead and let you know right now, y'all might catch me twerking on any given day. Okay, like that's how free I am right now in life. Is like, honey, if I feel like twerking, I'm a twerk. Okay. So then I was kind of like, well, why do I care, right? And then I looked at her qualifications.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that.
I looked at who she is. She is a 28-year-old woman. She is a Brown University graduate, which is an Ivy League institution. She has been in the...
Oh, I think you're on mute. Okay. So I think she's muted. Maybe it's just me. She has been, and she started out being a sex educator. She started out teaching sex education at Providence Public Schools. She's also an advocate, an LGBTQIA advocate. She's a reproductive rights advocate, and she's not just wealthy. She's well connected. She's not just wealthy. She says access for all, not just the wealthy. I apologize, you guys. It says access for all, not just the wealthy, well connected, or white. And she's currently a youth organizer, empowering young people to get active in local and national social issues. She won the 2020 election with 60% of the vote because of her ability to mobilize young voters and outseat an incumbent who was using religion to oppress. So with that, Kimberly, you talked about initially. So why does this changes your
Yeah, and it's because
did this change your point of view?
Yeah, and it did, because I feel like so many times, like, respectability politics is what it is, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like people want us to behave a certain way because they deem that to be acceptable. So then when I was like, well, I mean, she was at the beach. What you supposed to wear at the beach? A bathing suit. Like, if she feel like twerking, twerk, like whatever, right? That doesn't mean that now the advocacy work that I do doesn't matter, or the policy that I'm passing in the Senate doesn't matter because I was twerking. Like, so I came over to Team Twerk. I think I am cool with it. To Andrea's point, she said this is a yoga pose, right? That I personally can't do. Let me tell y'all something. If I could twerk on my head, y'all would be sick of me. Sick of me. I would be out here twerking it up, okay? So to Bianca's point, stop policing Black bodies.
Yes.
Team twerk.
Yes.
Twerk it up, sis.
Who said that? Who said that? Bianca. Thank you.
Twerk it up, right? So I did. At first, I feel like I was like, that's a bit much. But then I was like, I would probably do it too. So I'm Team Twerk. Senator Mack, again, is in Rhode Island. If you live out that way or know anybody who does, again, her power is in mobilizing young people. And that is something that a lot of people aren't able to do. So I say we focus on her policies and stop worrying about if she's twerking on the beach on her day off.
Period.
Okay. So having said that, on to some joyful news that we have here. Miss Simone Biles was awarded, along with some other folks, the highest civilian honor, which is the Presidential Medal of Freedom. We know that Simone has been in the news lately regarding her advocacy for sexual assault victims and victims of situations. And she has now been honored with her work, as well as being the most decorated gymnast. Hello, Simone Biles. So she was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which again is the highest civilian honor. Denzel Washington was actually also honored, but he was not able to attend because he wound up with COVID. But he has still, hopefully they'll do another type of ceremony or something so that he's able to get his picture, like getting awarded. But he was also honored with the Presidential Medal of Freedom as well, which is again the highest civilian honor that someone can get. So congratulations to Simone Biles, congratulations to Denzel Washington. For the culture, okay, we are here for you all right? So speaking of the culture, I don't know if you all have ever eaten at Fuddruckers. Have you heard of Fuddruckers?
I have. I watched a football game there once, and I think I ate there. It wasn't anything to write home about enough for me to remember, but I did eat there once and watch a football game there.
Okay, so I have not eaten at Fuddruckers in a really long time, but I actually saw one when I was in New Orleans, and I remember being like, Fuddruckers. And then I kept walking. And then I learned that this man that is pictured here is Howard alum Nicholas Perkins, and he is the first African-American to own a national burger franchise. So he made the purchase of Fuddruckers. He is 40 years old. He purchased all 92 Fuddruckers franchises in an $18.5 million deal. And the purchase gave him 100% ownership of the Fuddruckers brand.
How old is he, Kimberland?
He is 40, girl. Our age.
1, 2, 3, 4.
40. Okay, 40.
How do you say that in Spanish?
40. Okay. So right. I was about to say we 41. But he is 40 years old. He has purchased all the Fuddruckers. He is actually a double HBCU alum, so he has a degree from Howard as well as Fayetteville State University. And he said for him it was personal. He said he feels like Fuddruckers is nostalgic, and he knows a lot of people that grew up eating Fuddruckers. So he has a 3-phase plan to reintroduce the hamburger brand and restore it to 500 restaurants. That includes increasing marketing, building a better supply chain, and creating a mobile app and customer loyalty program. If you are in an area that has Fuddruckers, right, and you're kind of like, I want a burger, what a great way to support the culture by going to Fuddruckers and supporting a Black-owned burger chain, bruh.
Do we support just because he's Black, or do we support just because the service is good, the experience is good? Like, I'm sorry to be the contrarian here, but like I literally was just like, oh, I went to watch a football game and I didn't really remember anything to write home about. I want to go there. And I will go there, but like, am I going there just because there's a Black $1 million owner that owns it and he's Black and he's an HBCU alum? Or am I just going to support knowing
You're
that?
Going for all of that.
Okay. I'm going contrarian in this, right? I'm just like, because I remember going and I'm just like, it wasn't anything to write home about. But I love how he was just like, no, I'm being intentional with revamping things,
Yes,
the menu and giving an app and all that stuff. Maybe the experience inside, because I'm all about an experience. So, and the experience wasn't bad. Actually, the servers were actually really good. So yeah, I like it. And the reason is because when I think of a sports bar and I think of a place to go eat and go hang out, Fuddruckers is it Fuddruckers or Fuddruckers does not come top of mind. I want this place to be top of mind for me. So I am looking forward to the evolution of what this will become, because they do have them here in Dallas. I've only seen them once. And so I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how this will evolve. So I'll make it a point during football season when I watch the Packers to go to Fuddruckers and see what that experience is like.
for sure. Absolutely.
All right. Next. Okay, y'all. Can I preface? So we want to introduce someone. I'll preface and say she's a woman, and I will ask you, ladies and or gentlemen, to guess who I'm talking about. Y'all ready? Kimberland, you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay. She's played characters. She played Anna Mae's mother, and what stuff got to do with it. That is the biggest giveaway I can give you guys, but I'm gonna give you more. She was Ruby/Rosie in Blackish. I'm looking at the comments to see if we get it. She played in a different world. She was Dean Dorothy. Her name was Dean Dorothy Dandridge Davenport in a different world, but she played a Dean in a different world. She also played Blue's mother in the Thank you. Let's see who got it first.
Jackie.
So yes, Jackie. So Jennifer Lewis, legendary actress Jennifer Lewis, is set to receive a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Ebony reports. So if you are a Black culture aficionado, like Yvonne is and like Jackie is, then Lewis is no stranger to you. A staple in the cultural zeitgeist, Lewis is often referred to as the mother of Black Hollywood. I did not know that. I feel like this is long overdue. Because she has been in a host of movies, right? When I was doing the research for this and I was looking at her IMDb, I was just like, I was going through my phone, you guys.
So much.
Like,
so much.
So congratulations to Miss Jennifer Lewis. And then when I brought this up, I was like, Kimberland, did you see that picture of her doing the thing?
Child, let me tell you something. I saw this picture and I was like, Sissy, I need to go stretch. Okay. Because my God, I cannot get my leg up there no more, honey. I need to go stretch.
Okay. I can't even do that. And
honey.
I don't know how old she is.
Maybe
I need to Google it. I didn't care to Google her age, but she is finally getting her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Well deserved. Excited for her. 65. Thank you, community.
Wow. And her leg all the way up there to her.
It is. She must have been a cheerleader in her former life.
Hamstring, honey. Go ahead on, Mother Lewis. Okay, go ahead on, Mother. Okay. So congratulations to her. That is freaking phenomenal. And just shout out to this leg up in the sky, child. I'm here for it. I am here for it. I love her. She's so awesome. Her Instagram, her TikTok, she is just phenomenal. So congrats to Miss Jennifer Lewis.
All right, we also have some other good news.
Also, congratulations to Miss Quinta Bronson. We have talked about Quinta before, and Abbott Elementary and all of the accolades that she has gotten. Well, Quinta has now become the first Black woman to earn 3 nominations in the comedy categories in the same year. So she landed a nomination for Outstanding Comedy Series, Lead Actress in a Comedy, and Writing for a Comedy Series. She is only 32 years old, and she's the youngest Black woman ever nominated in the comedy acting category. So, Abbott Elementary, to those of you all who are educators or exist out there in the education world, you know that Abbott Elementary is like real life. It is what we as educators have had to deal with for a long time. And Quinta has really elevated that and really done some amazing work for inner city schools, specifically in the Philadelphia area. So shout out to her and the cast for this amazing project that they have done. And yes, to Yvonne's point, they better sweep them image. You hear me? Like, I am here for it. Okay. So congratulations again to Quinta and her crew as they get ready to take the red carpet and go ahead and get ready to sweep this thing. Okay.
I love this. I have, unfortunately, and I'm sorry, my black car should be revoked for this. I have not watched a iota episode, and it's not that I don't want to. I don't know where to watch it. I also probably don't have the streaming service to watch it. So that's why. Maybe I should go to like
so
YouTube
for those who are wondering, Abbott Elementary was on ABC, but it is also on Hulu. That's where I saw it, on Hulu. So if you have Hulu or if you have access to ABC streaming services, then you're able to watch Abbott Elementary, or if you can borrow a password, just don't tell them we told you, but it's a thing. Okay. It's a thing. All right. So having said that, what is your favorite non-chocolate candy, Sab?
Ooh, Starburst. I don't know if they're with Mars, but Starburst and Skittles. Ooh, you know why I love Skittles? It's because I can put it in water. You can put it in water on a plate, and it makes all these fun colors.
Yay for the science project. Yay for the science project. I think my favorite non-chocolate candy is Sour Punch straws.
Or patches. Patches?
No, not patches. I don't like Sour Patch. Sour Punch straws.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, those are my favorites.
What else?
Yeah.
Ooh, Aisha says Smarties.
Said,
Tiana says
another Skittles, Mamba, Twizzlers. Tawana said Payday. Do Payday have chocolate? No, it's no, they're not. Aisha said butterscotch. Carmetta said Nerds. Now, why are we bringing this up?
I want some Nerds. I'm sorry, I got excited. I want some Nerds. I miss a good nerd.
Oh, goodness.
You just suck
and gummy clusters, Yvonne. Oh, Lord. Well, we got some news, y'all, about y'all's favorite candy here, Skittles.
Yes. So Skittles is in trouble, B. So Mars has been sued by a consumer who claims that Skittles candies are unfit to eat because they contain a known toxin that the company had pledged 6 years ago to phase out. It's in a proposed class action lawsuit filed recently in Oakland. The federal court accused Mars of endangering unsuspecting Skittles eaters by using heightened levels of titanium dioxide, coined TiO2, as a food additive. B. I'm my non-New York accent. B. We messing with Skittles now, B? We come up with Skittles now? Skittles? I mean, it's not like we eat them every day, B. Kimberland?
I haven't had Skittles in a really long time. I definitely won't be having Skittles now. And Lord help me if I find out something about some Now-Laters or some Jolly Ranchers. Woo! Just kill me now. Yeah, I know. Just know. We had someone said circus peanuts. Yeah. So be aware, y'all, of the things that are in these candies that we're consuming.
I'm sorry, I'm still eat them.
Huh?
I'm still gonna eat them.
Oh, you still gonna eat them?
Mm-hmm. I don't eat them as much, but I'm still gonna eat them.
Okay.
I'll
Well,
just die
let
happy.
us know how that works out for you.
All right. So this next one. Have you ladies in the community heard of this thing called the Put Your Shoes On Challenge, where parents are asking their kids to come and help them fight? And I'm watching these videos and I'm like rolling my eyes and annoyed by them. We heard Charlamagne the God from the Breakfast Club. He has his take on it. Rachel Lindsay from the Higher Learning Podcast has her take on it. She had a positive take on it. Charlamagne had a negative, had the opposing. She had the for. My thought is, I feel like this is traumatizing kids. I think you're asking these kids to come help you fight. So what it is, okay, Kimberland, can you roll that beautiful bean footage
Sure.
Up so people, so if you haven't seen it, then you'll get a sense of what this challenge is like.
Yes, I will grab this right now. So again, like Sab said, it's called the Put Your Shoes On.
Where parents are asking their kids to come. Oh, you ready? Never mind. So parents are asking their kids. So what is this new trend where you put your shoes on, where they are challenging, the parents are challenging or instructing their kids to put on their shoes to gear up for a fight with a parent that they brought that brought their kid with them. And the fight is presented as a head-to-head parent versus parent and the kid versus kid. And a good number of kids are no, if you book, but there are other kids that are just like, why are we doing this?
So let me show this clip right quick.
Camille, there's this lady who's coming over who wants to fight me. She says she's going to beat me up. I need you to get your shoes on.
Why?
Because she's bringing her daughter, and if she tries to beat me up too, I need you to help me. Come on, I need you to get your shoes on.
Okay, I'll get them on.
Hurry, I need your help. She's coming. Are you ready to fight?
Yeah. I think her dad is going to try to beat me up.
You do?
Yes, definitely. And your whole mom is going to try to beat you up.
Okay. Are we gonna win?
I think, yeah.
So that's one of the cuter ones, which at first I thought this was kind of funny. But then some of the kids are crying. They're like, but I don't think I'm gonna win. Like, I don't know how to do the fighting. And honestly, if my mom would have come to me and told me that I needed to put my shoes on to fight, I would have been like, girl, I'm too cute to fight. I don't be out here fighting. Like, ain't nobody about to be scratching my face and pulling out my hair. Like, I'm good on that. So it's been really interesting. Karen said for some likes.
I know, Karen.
Yeah. Bianca said it's so toxic. The parents need to stop doing things for likes and views. And then I was thinking about so now you're encouraging your kids to fight. Like, if my mom would have came inside and been like, some lady want to fight you, I'm like, girl, what did you do? Like, we fight? Like, why are we fighting? Like, I got questions that need answers. Okay, why are we fighting? Like, what did you do to her that she want to fight you? And why I got to be out there fighting with you because you done did something? Like, yeah, it's really interesting.
She said, I can't see that. She says, no. As a mom, this is so wrong. These kids are too young to really understand. This is pretend. I agree. And now you're teaching these kids that you fight to solve problems. Just know. Good. Yeah, Aisha. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think it's traumatizing. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah. So, as we see the views,
don't like it. Don't like it.
Don't like it. Don't. And then maybe that will encourage those parents to stop doing that.
Don't like it.
Right. So let's go ahead and jump into our discussion topic today. And our discussion topic is kind of spicy. Okay. So we need you all to give us your opinions, your thoughts, your takes on everything that we have here, because we kind of talked about it a little bit already, but can you read what it says on these sweatshirts here?
I can't see it, Kimberland, even with my
It
glasses on.
says Black women deserve great sex.
And we do. And the reason that we deserve, because sex sells, right? We do. And we deserve good pleasure and we deserve great sex. And the reason why we're bringing this up, we wanted to discuss this topic is because I found this article that talked about 9 erotic bucket list adventures that aren't sex, but we are still going to talk essentially about sex. But so we wanted to talk about this because we see it all over television and even outside these days. Sex is a novelty. Sex is a thing, and our sexual experiences are on the rise, and they're no longer these. Our experiences, these experiences that we're bringing up, are no longer just reserved for bachelor parties or bachelorette parties. People and women, for the sake of women, can enjoy erotic outings and ideas. But the reason that I'm bringing this up was because I'm bringing it up for several reasons. So I'm really big on Black liberation and Black women owning their sexuality and Black women owning their pleasure. I even have a whole Facebook group about it. The Facebook group that I have is Black Women in Sex, Seduction, and Sensuality. And it's a space that I created for Black women to come and talk about their sexual experiences and their journey throughout sex. And I remember, so it's not just sex that we're talking about. What we're talking about is the gateway to be uninhibited when it comes to your pleasure or when it comes to your sexual experiences. And I will give an example. I remember when I lived in Charlotte one time, guys, I did this no pants Charlotte train ride where you ride the train in your underwear. The whole time you ride the train in your underwear. And I did get a picture and I was trying to find it and I'm sorry I couldn't find it. It was me and my friend Emiane, and if she's watching, I still have it. I just couldn't find it. Good. But anyway, so you ride the train and I remember the news media was all there and I intentionally the news media because I'm like, you're not about to get me on this TV. I'm just anyway. But that was a gateway for me to really be uninhibited in my sexual prowess. And it wasn't a sexy experience, but it was just a really feel free, liberating, uninhibited experience that I enjoyed with a Black woman. And the majority of the people there were white, but it was just a really overall great experience. And the reason that I bring this up is just because I feel like sometimes Black women, we as Black women, are still in a space of not feeling comfortable with talking about sex freely and feeling uninhibited and not being open and still feeling reserved when it comes to talking about sex. And Kimberland, you mentioned earlier, or maybe I missed it, pleasure, or maybe I mentioned it, pleasure. I'm really big on pleasure. I'm really big on knowing. I think sometimes Black women have been in a space of not being able to talk about pleasure or not being comfortable with talking about pleasure.
Right.
And and Kimberland, you talked about Black women's sexuality and their liberation and their journey and the colonization and control over our bodies as Black women.
Yeah, So I was watching this Netflix special, Principles of Pleasure, and we have actually talked about this on the show before. We let people know that it was coming out. Well, I actually sat down and watched it. And what I appreciated about it is that it was given this view of how we as Black women have not historically have had agency over our body.
Yeah.
We have been used for other people's pleasure. We have been used to raise other people's children. We have been used and abused, right? So then when you bring religion into it, we have been made to feel shameful about our bodies, made to feel shameful about seeking pleasure, about enjoying sex and all of those things, right? So it really, this is rather new for me, if you will, of thinking about what it looks like to lean into pleasure and to really know that I deserve to have pleasurable experiences and deserve to have good sex because I didn't grow up that way. It was something very taboo in my family. We couldn't talk about sex. We couldn't talk about anything that had to do anything with our bodies, right? So it's really new of really understanding that it is okay to love myself. It's okay to lean into the things that bring me pleasure. And it's a resistance. It is a big middle finger to colonization and saying I as a Black woman, just like we were talking about Senator Mack earlier, I am going to love my body. I'm going to own my body. I'm not going to let you police my body.
And
right?
own your pleasure.
and I'm going to own the pleasure that comes with that, right?
Yeah.
So we have some places that we want to bring to your attention. As Sab mentioned, these 9 erotic bucket list adventures that are not necessarily about sex, but kind of about sex. And we're going to go through them pretty quickly.
We'll go through them really quickly. Well, not really quickly, but we'll go through them quickly.
The question that we have here on a 1 to 10 scale: how comfortable are you with talking about your sexual pleasures? So if you'll answer that in the comments. Okay.
All right.
So the first that we have, go ahead.
Is nudes, boot. So these places that you mentioned that are non-sexual places, but they kind of are sexual places, right? Or did you mention that or not mention that?
Yes, I did.
Erotic places. Okay.
Yes.
Booze and nudes used to be a whole movement where that began in Atlanta. However, it seems to have stopped. And it garnered a lot of attention initially in Atlanta, but they took the act on the road. And I actually experienced this really fun event with my sister where it's a paint and sip and paint and watch the nudes and watch the men walk around, and they're all of it. It was a really fun event. And this one, I believe it's based in Dallas, and it's by far been one of the most fun girls night out experiences that I've had. You're painting, it's like paint and sip, you're sipping your wine, you have these naked gentlemen walking around in all of their glory, and you're painting them, and they're not like busting their junk in your face, but it's just a fun experience. And it was fun for me. As you can see in the picture, you see the hiney, and I intentionally took it from the back because I knew I would want to use this picture one day, and I didn't want his face in it, and I just didn't want to plaster his face all over the internet. So yes, booze and nudes.
Booze and nudes.
Booze and nudes.
So then the next one that we have is the Black Naturists Association. And this was founded in 2016. And it's an association that advocates nudity through naturist environments and activities to help promote healthy body images and self-esteem for people in the Black community. They have members all across the United States and a few members that reside abroad. They are out here loving themselves and living in their freeness. Someone I went to high school with, one of my sorority sisters, she actually is a part of BNA. Thomas is here as well. He said BNA is the best. So if that is something that is kind of tickling your fancy and you want to know more about it, again, it's Black. Oh, there's Patrika. So Patrika is one of the founding members. So if y'all have questions, go ahead and put them in the comments. They are here. If you want to know how to join, where their trips are, all of that, go ahead and drop that into the comments so that they can get those questions answered for you with the Black Naturist Association. Again, founded in 2016 for the healthy body images and self-esteem for people in the Black community.
I don't know if I would do this one actually,
No?
but however, I don't know if I would do it. Like it's hard for me to walk around in a swimming suit, but I love the movement. But I feel like I'm a person of association. So if I'm around a lot of people who are doing it and I'm feeling of association, then I think I could do it. It just takes, it's community. Like it seems like
it is a community. And I think from what I've known, I have not yet had an opportunity to participate. It is one of the things on my list of things to do though, because after we had our Thomas said, "Oh, you ready, love?" We had our 20-year reunion and we went to Negril, and afterwards a few people stayed and they went to hedonism in Negril, and I was like, oh my gosh, that sounds so interesting, but I was so nervous. But I think I'm finally at the point where I'm like, let me go ahead on and be free. Let me just go ahead on and be free. So again, they are in the comments. If y'all have questions about BNA, go ahead and drop those things in the comments. They will get you straight and together. Okay.
All right. So the next one is Kinky's Dessert Bar. We've actually talked about this one before, and I was really excited to talk about them again. So they are New York City based, Black owned, and specializing in tasty goodies that are as sweet as they are sexy. And it's Kinky's Dessert Bar comes at the top of the list. So from my understanding, from what I can see, from what we talked about before, it's a bar that you can go and experience all these tasty treats that are in the shape of, can I say this on Facebook? Vaginas? vulvas, penises. Penises. No, I'm just kidding.
They are shaped like reproductive organs.
Why do I always have to be? It takes Kimberland to reel me in sometimes.
Because I'm a science teacher, so I always, just bring the clinical side of it to the situation. But yeah, we've talked about them before. They're in New York, and we also ran across another company that I've been stalking actually on Instagram in Toronto, and it's called Members Only Waffle House. So it is a similar type of concept to Kinkies, where they have members that are shaped like waffles and are covered in chocolate.
Members.
So members, yeah. So if you are into waffle shaped members, and you're in the New York area, go to Kinkies. If you want to take a trip to Canada, head on over to Toronto, where you can get all of the pleasure from the yard and enjoy your members. And they also have female members as well.
Looks
because
tasty.
Balance, right? Because balance is a thing.
Looks very tasty.
It does. It looks really good.
Really tasty. All right. The next is the Antique Vibrator Museum. So you can make a trip to the in San Fran, and it's as masturbation via sex toys. Even though my electronic boyfriend this reminds me of my electronic boyfriend. So this is an antique museum about vibrators. So essentially what this is this museum is run by Good Vibrations and is, in all fairness, it's just it seems like it's a small room. So it says it's best to plan your trip around things to do if you're ever in San Fran. So this picture, I laughed so hard when I saw this picture. So just think the word Antique Vibrator Museum. So vibrating, talking about your pleasure is not an old thing. It's and they've just had antique ways to do it. So if you're ever in San Francisco, I would actually go. And again, plan your trip around it. Don't plan your day.
I would go to that too.
But the pictures that I saw when I Googled it were just like, ooh, that's a vibrator. Okay. So yeah,
I would be really interested to see what that looked like in the past. I would totally go to this museum. I would totally go to see. Then speaking of museums, we also have the Museum of Sex that is in New York City, and it covers a wide variety of sexually related topics, and it doubles as a novelty store so that you're able to get some memorabilia to take home with you as
member.
To take home with you after you visit the museum and learn about all of the things that are happening at the Museum of Sex. So again, that is in New York City. Again, if you're in the area, that's something you may want to put onto your agenda.
The Philly Naked Bike Ride. That's all. What else can you say about it? So if you're in Philly and you have the opportunity to experience the Philly naked body positivity is what I'm assuming what this is. However, if you've ever ridden a bike, you know that itch ain't comfortable. So
all I feel in this one is Jesus is all in my hind parts. How is I'm supposed to comfortably ride this bike when I got this seat up in my hind parts? Like I can't make it make sense. More power to you though. If you go, please report back and let us know what this is like. But it is a thing. You could ride a bike naked through Philadelphia. Okay, so if that's your thing, honey, the B&A people, they might want to do a meetup at the Philly Naked bike ride. I don't know. Okay. But this is a thing. This is a thing that's out there. So if you like bikes and you like being naked, you might want to put these two together and make it do what it do. Okay?
I think I'll pass on this one.
Ooh, Yvonne says she went to the Museum of Sex for a fellatio class.
Ooh, good job, Yvonne.
Yes, honey. That's definitely about to be on my list.
Did we put a 9 or 10?
So we also have the Leather Archives and Museum, and this is in Chicago. Okay, so this museum is committed to highlighting leather, kink, fetish, and BDSM history. It's a fun stop to make if you're ever in the Chicago area, but it also brings better understanding to a community that is often misunderstood. I can say I am not very aware of what happens in the BDSM community, but I do know that there are some of us who are in it. So this is an opportunity to get those questions answered and to see what it's really all about at the Leather Archives and Museum.
Interesting.
And then
All right.
lastly,
Seattle Erotic Museum.
Yes.
Yeah, so this
Seattle
is
Erotic Museum.
art festival, well, art festival showcasing erotic and visual arts. They have it in Seattle once a year. It's April around ish, so we just missed it, and it looks erotic. So at this festival, like I said, it already took place in 2022, but I'm pretty sure they're going to host another one in 2020. You see this picture here? That I would honestly, guys, I would like some stuff like that. I'm just that person. I'm just very open, and I'm not saying the rest of our community isn't, because we asked you ladies earlier what your level of what your scale was on a scale of 1 to 10, and I saw, and I'm trying to look at some of the comments here, and I'm seeing that it was kind of all over the place, because I did believe I saw a 5, if I'm not mistaken. But I like how you ladies are open to talking about pleasure, because as growing up, that wasn't talked about. You didn't know how to talk about it, or it wasn't a conversation. It was just like, don't do it. It's not something you do. Just don't have sex. It's just not a thing. So I'm glad that our community is kind of sprinkled in their way, in their desire to comfortable ability, to talk about their pleasure. And I would hope that we're able to get you in a place that you are more comfortable in talking about your pleasure, because I just want us to just have more agency over our pleasure and over our bodies, because clearly the world doesn't want us to own our bodies. They objectify us anyway.
Yeah, we got to start somewhere. We got to start somewhere. So even if you're a 2 or 3 now, there's nothing wrong with getting some additional information. There's also a special right now on Netflix. It's called So You Want to Build a Sex Room. And I've been watching it, and it's really interesting too, because it really helps you to think about things in a different way. So again, if that's something that you want to stretch yourself a little bit, here are some resources for you to be able to do that. Yeah. So contributing, all of this is a contributing factor to our mental health, right? We might not think about it as a mental health journey, but it really is. A lot of times, there's research that shows like pleasure.
Put a pin real quick. I promise, real quick. I know we've gone over, but I appreciate you ladies still rocking with us and still holding on. Just know that everything that we're talking about is extremely important, and I appreciate you guys taking the time and still rocking with us right now. Thank you. I just want to say that, because I know
I was like, what?
A little over,
but yes,
but this is like stuff that
I understand. I got you. But this, again, for mental health, a lot of times there's research that shows that stress can be reduced through finding pleasure, that stress can be reduced through intimacy and sexual activity. So all of this, it may seem like we're being funny or whatever, but really seriously, this is stuff that can help us with our quality of life. Something else we do in the mental health moment is to highlight, I don't know if you all remember last show or if you've seen that the number for assistance for people who are having mental health crises has changed. So the number is 988 now. So we wanted to remind you of that if you or anyone that you know is having any type of mental health crisis, that 988 is the number that you can call. Now, having said that, again, when we think about these self-care practices and things that we can do in order to make sure that we are taking care of our spirits, taking care of our minds, taking care of our bodies, one of those things can be the way that we lean into pleasure. So what we wanted to ask from you all, and I feel like it's never too much to talk about the things that we do for self-care. So we'd like you to take a moment to drop your favorite new self-care activity that you have discovered. So something new or unexpected that you're like, I didn't expect this to really be something amazing for me, but it really is. And it has really allowed me to be able to care for myself in a different way. If you will drop that into the comments, because we're always looking for ways to explore how we can care for ourselves. So we have some suggestions that are here on the screen, but you might also have some additional ones that you may want to share with the community. So one of the ones that I did want to highlight on here that I have personally been doing more is reflecting on what brings me joy. Right? I've really been on this journey of thinking about the things that bring me joy, the things that bring me peace, the things that make me genuinely happy inside. Again, going back to that concept of pleasure, thinking about the things that are pleasurable to me. So just sitting down and allowing my mind to think about things that bring me pleasure, whether that be a smell or a color or a particular drink or what have you. Like, I've been being very intentional about those things. So that's one that I would highlight for me. What about for you, Sab?
My morning meditations and my breathing, and also just being present. Mainly the meditations really start my day, but then the being present, like going on vacation. And I'm really bad with taking pictures because I like to just be in the moment and be present.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, being present mainly.
Yeah. And I love Yvonne said listening to music, right? So music is definitely the thing for me. I also created a playlist. I'll drop that link into the chat for you all. And I use that every morning when I wake up.
Awesome.
Jackie mentioned nature. Lately, I have been sitting outside with the breeze.
I love
It's
a good
just
hike.
been something refreshing to me about having a breeze. And the breeze just blowing across me just feels absolutely amazing, right? So as you all are going throughout your days and you're thinking about all of the things that you could be doing, we would love for you to think about what you may intentionally want to do so that you are able to bring yourself, put yourself in a place where you are experiencing pleasure on a consistent basis and really being able to honor that intentionally so that it doesn't feel like it's a happenstance. It's really something that you are spending time doing and curating.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you for sharing. I love that, Jackie. I love nature. I love hiking. I love hiking. Awesome. So next is our beautiful brown girl spotlight that we wanted to share. So the Raiders, that's a football team, right? I didn't realize that. Las Vegas Raiders. Let me get that correct because they used to be
They were the Oakland Raiders.
Okay, thank you. Because I was just saying, I don't remember Raiders. So the Raiders recently hired Sandra Douglas Morgan as its new team president. The former Nevada Gaming Control chairman and Las Vegas attorney, Sandra Douglas Morgan, has been named the Raiders' new president, making her the first Black woman to assume such a role in the NFL. Morgan, who was the first African-American woman to serve as control board chair for 2019-2021, will begin her new role immediately. And she was the third woman and third African-American woman to be president of an NFL team. And her quote was, she was like, she said, I definitely never want to be the last, which I loved, and said, I want to get to a point where this is no more first. I love that comment because Kimberland, you ladies, we often talk about how we always share the first Black on this show. So I really love that comment from Miss Douglas Morgan. Congratulations. I'm looking forward to hearing more about what her and I believe Condoleezza Rice is a new owner of the Denver Broncos as well. She's one of the minority owners of the Denver Broncos. But I'm sorry, this is all about Morgan right now. But congratulations to Sandra Douglas Morgan on your new role with the NFL Las Vegas Raiders.
Black women out here getting it in.
I don't want to say Oakland. I'm like, Las Vegas Raiders.
The Las Vegas. I'm so excited. Black women are coming on the scene and it's about doggone time. So congratulations to her. So having said that, we want to again appreciate you all for hanging out with us. We had quite a few new folks that were here hanging out with us today. So we want to make sure that you know how to connect with us. So we are here every other Monday for Brown Conversations right here on Beautiful Brown Girls Facebook page. So we want to make sure that you know how to find us. So make sure that you have liked us on our Facebook page, Beautiful Brown Girls, as well as joined our Facebook group, Beautifully Shaded, and liked us on or followed us on Instagram at Beautifully Shaded and on Twitter at Beautiful Brown U. We also want to remind you about our members network. That is a place where you're able to get all of the VIP access, first know about everything that is happening out here in these beautiful brown girl streets, VIP passes, all of the things. So again, if you go to members.beautifulbrowngirls.com, you'll be able to get connected there. So having said that, Sab, tell the people where they can find you, ma'am.
Please, you can find me on sabjackson.com. All of my local girl. All of my platforms are there. All of my social platforms are there. Next time I need to readjust this so I can put my Snapchat on there because that's where I'm the most active.
What's your Snapchat name?
It's Sab1908.
Cool.
On Snapchat. That is where I'm most active. So if my community followed me in Costa Rica, they follow me in Cabo, but you can still connect with me on LinkedIn. But everything that I am connected to in terms of my social platforms are on sabjackson.com if you would like to support me there. Not follow me there, but support me there.
Love it.
What about you, Kimberland? Where can people support you in your space?
I love that. So people can support me over at KimberlandJackson.com, as well as my new brand, Minding My Black Ass Business. That's where I put all of my shenanigans that are happening out here in these streets. I have about a week and a half to 2 weeks here in the States, and then I'm going to be shipping on off to my next destination. So as I continue this journey of living everywhere and nowhere all at the same time, feel free to follow me on Minding My Black Ass Business so that you can join there. And I also have some merch that I would love for you to rock, right? So I have my Minding My Black Ass Business shirts and sweatshirts and all of that. And I also have a brand called Black and Free that you can also find on the site because that's what we're doing out here, y'all. We're trying to be black and free. Okay. So having said that, again, we will be back with our next episode 2 weeks from now, right here on our Facebook page, starting at 7 Central, 8 Eastern. We love y'all. The Brown Conversation doesn't stop here. We want you to know that. So make sure that you continue to tag people in the comments, that you continue to share the broadcast, that you continue to give us some love, some likes, some hearts, some reactions. If you are enjoying our content, we do this out of a labor of love. So we do want to make sure that you all know that and that you all feel that. But having said that, we will see you all next time. Make sure y'all stay safe, stay beautiful, stay free. We love y'all.
Yes, business.
Bye.